everybody. Today I'm going to finish up my book review book club thing that I started with the 5 people you meet in heaven. Originally I had planned to have 4 separate videos following this video about the 5 people you meet in heaven as I read it. However, I did not give as much thought as I needed to into the videos because I had started school right around the time that I had published the first video. So I'm just going to do an overall book review of this to wrap it up, and I hope you guys can read it along with me, or since I've already finished it, if you can, this video can inspire you to read this book. Alright, so I talked to you about all the way up to him meeting somebody called the Blue Man after he dies. And it just keeps going from there. I don't remember everybody he meets, but he does meet 5 people, hence the title. And you just really get a feeling of what Eddie's character is like. He wasn't the most perfect person in the world. He wasn't too unpleasant or anything like that. He was just a good person that had a lot of life experience that he didn't even realize, and he affected so many people's lives. For example, there was his captain in the army. He met his captain, and the way he affected the captain's life is they were in battle together, and then they ended up being prisoners of war together. And Eddie got shot in the leg, and so they escaped from prison, they drove him back, and as they were driving back, the captain went ahead to see if the coast is clear, and he stepped on a landmine. But all that was worth it because Eddie was part of his life at the very end. So I think the most shocking and moving part of this book was the last person he met, which was when they were escaping from prison. They had spent so many months in prison that they were fed up. This was Eddie, his captain, 3 other colleagues or comrades, and they were so fed up and so bitter that they were like, you know what, we're going to burn this village to the ground, and they had nothing on their mind except revenge, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. I mean, I'm never going to know what it's like to be prisoner of war, obviously, and I feel sickly terrible for the people that do have to experience it, but they can hear bombs from their side of the war, like their allies coming to bomb the village. They can hear that, and still they are dead set on burning this village to the ground when they could be 2 minutes away from death as bombs just fly down to this village. And I'm like, you should focus on getting out, because the planes aren't going to care and aren't going to know that you're down there. They are just going to be bombing the village. Get out. And so this is all in a memory. Each time he meets a person in heaven, he has like a flashback of his life, and that's how you gain more of his character, the character building part of the book. And so they're burning this place to the ground, they're pouring gasoline all over it, and Eddie thinks he sees someone in the fire, but his friends drag him away, and that's that. The last person he meets in heaven is a girl that burned in the fire that he and his friends created. I was not expecting that. At the very beginning, when he was dying, at the very first few chapters, he saved a girl from the cart that was crashing down onto the floor. He pushed her out of the way, so I thought maybe he didn't save this little girl, and this little girl is going to be the girl who died alongside him. But no, it was a little girl that had burned alive in the fire. And it was the most moving part of the book, because it was his final stage of meeting all the people. And it was just so heartbreaking, especially how he had to go through that evolution. She's perfectly fine when he meets her, but then halfway through their conversation, she starts turning burned and charred and scraped and cut and injured. And she tells him, "You have to bathe me." And they go to the river, and he bathes her. And then she moves on to her next stage of heaven, and so does he. So it's kind of peaceful and kind of eerie at the same time because it's such an impactful scene. You have to read it for yourself. So 5 stars to the 5 people you meet in heaven. You can check my review out on Goodreads. I'll put a link down in the description. And I hope you guys have a very good day.